Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. I'm old school, but I keep it funky fresh, y'all. And this is deep, y'all. I'm from the deep, y'all. And what you get is what you motherfucking see. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Meant Event Podcast News. My name is Jaime, and what I'd like to do here on this channel, if you are new here, is give my thoughts and opinions on trending news around the globe. So I'd appreciate it if you're new here to like and subscribe. And with that said, let's get on with some of these crazy headlines. Well, like I touched on a little bit on last episode in the beginning there, planes have been falling out of the sky. You know, they've even said there's been reports of pilots have been rejecting the aircraft due to them feeling that they're not that safe to take the flights. And it's becoming some sort of a regular thing, which is not a good thing. I mean, putting people's lives in danger. There was a plane you saw land and, flip upside down, and thankfully a lot of those people survived. And unfortunately, there's been other ones where people haven't. And there's been a lot of crazy things been going on. Like, what could be the cause? And that's what a lot of people want to know right now. But when people don't have answers all the time, we go to speculation, rumors, to the conspiracy theories, because we go seeking for answers if we don't get answers. And sometimes our research gives us some good things. Sometimes it could be a little outlandish and crazy, and a little far fetched. But all in all, everybody goes and puts in that work to try to find an answer. And there's a lot of speculation and rumors, like I said. Some say our poles are shifting. There's a big pole shifting, like our magnetic poles are doing a shift, and they're going to flip sides and some stuff like that. There's been rumors of documents that say this could happen, where it could just flip all the way over and mess up all the whole weather and things like that. But they say that they believe it's moved a little bit out of the they say there's they use a certain number, I forget what it is, but they say it shifted out of the place, and they believe that could be throwing off some of the navigation systems of some of these aircraft. But if it throws off the navigation system, that's one thing. But to make it just shut off and fall out the sky is another. I mean that's like why we got to go look for some other answers sometimes.
Oh, I hate that part.
A lot of these things could be affecting these things and making airplanes, glitch out. A lot of people are saying, on the conspiracy side, that we could be shifting dimensions, or there's a lot of realities going to be changing and things like that, and it's changing like the magnetic field in the whole planet. Or could it be this new technology that we're kind of unleashing that we don't really know about? All over the place. There's these new robots, there's new artificial intelligence, there's new all kinds of things breaking through the planet right now, and they're showing new weapons, new things like that, and new deterrents. And who knows if some of these things could be affecting some of these aircraft things as well. This is pretty wild. But also, when you go into the conspiracy side, people could say these could be one of the signs of like the end times. People, things falling out of the sky and like fires, coming from the sky, and you see that when the supposed rocket blew up, and you seen it falling back into orbit, and it looked like a bunch of comets coming down or meteors falling down, like a meteor shower, and they had their explanation ready, and people were just not taking it for what's the word taking it for being the truth. And a lot of people are speculating towards this end of times theory, and they're leaning on it pretty heavy on some of the channels and things like that. And because they've been showing, like I said, I spoke on a little bit, rivers turning red some places, and some other things that showed signs that there could be some things seriously about to happen, and people should be preparing. However you should be preparing, you should be doing it, I guess. And so it's kind of creepy when you see people do such a good work on these videos where they're just so convincing with the evidence they put out, and some of the video clips they use, or some of the articles they find, or when they literally read from the Bible, and it sounds like exactly what could be happening right now. And you're like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. It's kind of creepy, And, they say some things about it could be one of our own creations. That could be the fall of man, or the fall of mankind or humanity. And what would be the creation? There's quite a few of our creations. Since the beginning of time, it seems like our history has always been like war.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Like divide and conquer and like violence. Like people had to like show their dominance over someone else somehow, and then eventually it led to like wars and battles. So could it be like our creation that destroys us? Could it be like weapons? There's always new weapons being made. People are afraid of the nuclear threat with World War III coming. If it's, whoever's losing sides last resort. And, there's also that threat as well, people think. Could it be this AI thing? Could it be this AI thing to where it's so advanced, it's helping people right now on a large scale. People start to trust in it so much that maybe they, put it in so much trust that maybe they let it make a really bad decision, even though its calculations say it's a good decision, but maybe on our side, it could be a bad decision.
You are experiencing a car accident.
The hell I am!
Could it be something like that? Who knows? What else could we make? According to some of those, things we weren't allowed to talk about back in the day, they were making viruses and stuff like that. There's labs going out there making, deadly viruses for a living instead of cures. That's kind of wild. Could it be some of those things, like, oh my gosh, look what I made. You got about 40 seconds with this one, and they'll be like, Eureka, like, was that what you were looking for? Because I didn't want to sign up for that one, and there's all these crazy things going out there which could make you get a little freaked out, stories like you saw this fog going through, and then you see these crazy videos where people are showing you like this snow ain't melting and neither is this cheese. And, I laugh now, but these could be some serious warning red flag signs, that some things could be coming to an end. Like the veils are falling. A lot of things are coming open to the public. People are starting to find out some more information that probably wasn't accessible before. So this is pretty interesting now. These are times that are kind of exciting and scary at the same time, because sometimes you might get too much of an overload of information and you might have to slow down. You hold on. I'm only on page 3. Like, give me a minute, And like I said, if these are the end times, maybe we should be putting different priorities in line, different things like that. Like, who knows? You just never know what could be happening. But it does feel like there is a change happening, or something is in line for a shift, or who knows what it could be. No pun intended on the shift thing. When they talk about the pole shifting. Like a lot of things it's just wild because they're just throwing all these things out at once. Like they just did a big like data dump, like they were like, here's some aliens, like all of a sudden, like, here's this and here's that, like all kinds of stuff, like we might even be, we're teleporting shit, like, now we have artificial intelligence, robots are coming, like everything just started coming out at one time. And there's some meteors that just whipping by Earth like every 3 days. So like I feel like they just put this big data dump like before like their time was running out. Like they just did this like this Tupac album. How like Tupac was like warning his giving his premonition almost, like death around the corner, and all these things led to like a bad consequence. And so he was trying to get out this stuff so fast. And I feel like this is what they're doing right now with this big like data dump. Like, we just got to get all these things out. Here's Martin Luther King. Here's the MLK. Like, here's some more shit. It's kind of wild. But strap on your seatbelts. We're in for an interesting 2025 and then some, hopefully. Hopefully, there's then some. Well, my name is Jaime, and this has been another episode of Meant to Vent Podcast News. Till next time, see ya.